Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be showing you this makeup look right here. This has been my kind of everyday go-to makeup look lately. It's really natural and quick, and I'm obsessed with this foundation and bronzer that I've been loving. So I can't wait to show you guys these products in action. So if you want to see how I've been doing my everyday makeup look, then please keep watching. I'm going to start with eyes, and I'm using my MAC Painterly Paint Pot and this little brush just to prime my eyelids. And once they're primed, I'm just going to go in with my two usual eyeshadows. So I'm going to set all over with Rice Paper from MAC and then use Soft Brown just in the crease. So nothing fancy, just kind of setting the eyelid so that it doesn't crease throughout the day. So I've been keeping it really simple, and I'm just going to use my MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash. Was that Giga Black Lash? It's like a tongue twister. I'm going to use this as my mascara today, and I know this is kind of a cult favorite for bottom lashes because the brush is kind of so small and compact, but I've been using it on my upper and lower lashes. Some days I just rock upper lash mascara. Other days I do put some on the bottom lashes. Usually I tend to feel that just upper lash mascara looks more flattering on me and makes me look like my eyes are more like open and awake. So I'll probably just stick to upper mascara today. But this formula is really nice. It doesn't smudge, and the brush being so compact means it's a lot easier to kind of control, and you don't get it all over your eyelids or under your eyes or anything. The one thing I will say with this mascara is I find that different mascara formulas really irritate my contacts and some don't. And this is one that if it does happen to get on my contact, it does really irritate my eyes. So that's why it's not like, I don't think it's going to be a cult favorite mascara of mine, but it does just give like a really natural just coat to the lashes. I really like the kind of pared down effect that it gives, but just the formula just doesn't quite agree with my contacts. If you're looking for my favorite mascara that I recommend, the Covergirl Exhibitionist is my current just like go-to drugstore favorite. It's affordable, it has a nice fluffy brush, great formula, never irritates my eyes, and it's really buildable. You can really just like pack a bunch on. Now moving on to mascara, I've been obsessed with the Blasco Ultrabase Cream Foundation. I did a whole video on this. This is Kim Kardashian's favorite foundation. It's a cream foundation. This is kind of a cult favorite foundation for makeup artists that do like on-camera makeup. I bought mine on, I think it was cameraready.com. I think it's only $26. The packaging obviously is really small. I'm not sure how big is this. 9.5 grams, so 0.335 ounces. I'm not sure how fast I'm going to go through it. I feel like there's a lot in here that's going to last, but I just wanted to quickly mention it because in my video where I reviewed this exclusively, I had the shade Natural Beige 1, which I have right here, and it was an okay color match. It's kind of hard to color match yourself online. I think it works okay. It's just a little bit too pinky for my skin, so I ended up getting Alabaster, which is this one here. Obviously, oh, you can't actually kind of tell on camera. In person, they look really close, but on camera, you can kind of see the stark difference. This one's just a lot lighter. I think it's a better match for me. But this one is just, it's not even that it's too dark, it's just that it's too pinky, and the undertone is just slightly off for me. But a lot of these foundations are kind of meant to be mixed together because they are for professionals. So it's not, I think it's going to be harder in a foundation like this to find your exact match. But I've just been rocking just the Alabaster by itself, and I think it's a good color match. So I'm going to go with that today, and I've been using my Sigma F80, which I used in that video, just because I find that it applies so quick and easy with the brush, and that's why I've been loving this, because it's just so fast, and I just love the satisfaction of getting full coverage really quickly. So I have the foundation pretty much blended in, and then I do have some really particularly large dark breakouts, and I could just kind of pile on the foundation and really pack on the coverage, but I just really like how natural and skin-like this foundation sets. So I'm going to go in with my Clé de Peau concealer, and I have this in the shade, oh no, it's Ivory. I thought the sticker came off, but it's there. So I'm just going to use that on my same foundation brush and just pick up a little bit and just dab this onto my blemishes, because right here on my cheek, I usually never get cheek breakouts, and for some reason, I'm just having a huge breakout on this side. So I'm going to put some there, and then a little bit on this planet on my chin as well. So when I went to repurchase the Blasco foundation in Alabaster, I figured I might as well pick up another shade, and I ended up getting Natural Tan to kind of use as a cream contour. And I think I addressed this in a video recently. I think it was when I cleaned out my makeup collection. I did like a spring clean my makeup collection video. I'm just using this on the Sigma F84. I just never feel like a cream contour works for me, and I end up just like getting rid of all the ones I buy. But I've really liked this one. I think I like kind of like a compact cream like this because I also really like the Chanel Soleil Tan de Chanel cream bronzer, and I use that with the same brush also. But something about using the same formula for the foundation and the cream contour like I'm doing now, I think just blends really nicely. And I think this natural tan color is a pretty natural looking tan shade. I'll blend it in, don't worry. And of course I'm gonna put it on this side, and that's right where those giant zits are, so hopefully my concealer doesn't come off when I try to blend this in. But anyway, I've just really found that I like this formula, so if you're also struggling for like finding a cream bronzer or contour that you like, I actually really enjoy this, so I'm loving it. And I find that it just like blends really easily. And just something about this formula I just think looks so natural on the skin. Now that I have my cream contour slash bronzer on, I'm going to go in with my under eye concealer, and I'm going to use my Hourglass Vanish concealer in the shade Cream. I really like this concealer. It's a lot more hydrating, I would say, than my Too Faced or my Tarte Shape Tape, but I think it is still really full coverage and a little bit like I've dabbed on there, like even this is probably too much, can really go a long way and look really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and blend this in with my damp beauty blender. Concealer is blended in, and now I'm going to set with my Laura Mercier translucent powder here. I also love using my Fenty lavender powder, but sometimes it's just like a little too brightening and a little too much. I'm going for more of a natural vibe today, and that lavender shade is just super brightening, so this is just a little bit more natural, I find. And now I'm going to set the rest of my face, and I just am a ride or die for this MAC Mineralize Skin Finish in the shade Light Plus, which is just my holy grail setting powder. It's a nice mineral powder. It looks really natural. It blends really nicely. The other thing I really like about this powder is it's a nice color match for me. It's light enough, but it's also just has a really kind of nice yellowy undertone, and a lot of times I find that the foundations that match my skin tone can be just a little too pinky, like I mentioned with that other shade of the Joe Blasco, and having like a more yellowy powder just really helps kind of correct, I find, the shade of whatever I'm wearing and make it like match a little better. So for some reason this like powder just always makes everything better. And I always get questions about this brush. This is the Osmosis Full Face Brush. I bought mine on Premier Look. Osmosis is a medical grade skincare slash healthy makeup brand, and I love their foundation, their performance wear. I think it's called the Performance Wear Satin Foundation. I've had it in the past and I love it, and this brush is just beautiful. It's a nice dupe for like the, I think is it like a Tom Ford brush that's like this, or oh no, it's like the La Mer big brush, something like that. It's just so soft, and I love kind of a big fluffy brush like this. And another thing I've been doing lately is I love that powder, but if I just feel like I'm getting too shiny throughout the day, or I'm a little too greasy because it is kind of, you know, hot in the middle of summer, I've been going back on top with my MAC Studio Fix powder. I have the shade NC20, and this is just my compact. Ignore that it's kind of like grody in there, but this is the compact that I have in my purse for touch-ups because it comes with the little like sponge underneath there. So I just love this as like a full coverage on the go powder. But also just, I'm going to add a little bit just through my T-zone, because sometimes I just feel like I want a little bit more coverage and mattifying powder than I get from the mineral powder. So I've just been like applying a little bit on top, but you can totally skip that step. Or you can set all over with this if you want a more mattified look. Now moving on to bronzer, this is just like a standout new favorite product for me. This is the Jouer Light to Medium Bronzer Duo in the shade Sunlight Suntan. So it's a little bronzer duo that has two shades in it. As you can tell, they're nice and light, and I think this is a great bronzer if you're like me and you have fair skin and it's hard for you to find bronzers light enough and flattering enough for your skin tone. This is definitely one that I would recommend to anyone looking for a product like that. So I just kind of mix the two colors around, and as you guys know, my Real Techniques Duo Fiber Face Brush is just my holy grail bronzer brush. So I'm applying the two mixed together with this, and I've done this on days when I don't use the cream contour and it's a lot more subtle and natural, but I think this is nice to just kind of set on top of that cream contour. This I'm going for just a little bit more of a full coverage and defined look today, so I do have that cream contour underneath. But this bronzer is just so beautiful. The formula is really nice. It blends really beautifully. It is, I would say it's a nice in-between shade. It's not too warm. It's not too cool. It does give you kind of that contoured effect while still adding some warmth to your skin. And it's like a luminous of enough powder that it gives you like a little bit of a glow without it being like a shiny bronzer. It's definitely like a matte product, but it just gives you that natural luminosity to your skin. And then what I love to do with this product is take the lighter shade here on my my NARS Ita brush. And I find that this is just such a nice shade for contouring the nose, because sometimes, you know, contouring the nose can get a little out of hand, and hopefully it comes up on camera. But this shade is just nice and light and subtle, but it still kind of gives you a little bit of definition, which I'm always looking for with my nose, because I tend to find, especially in like flash photos, my nose can really disappear into my face, so it's nice to kind of define it. And then I also take this under the lip a little bit. Moving on to blush and highlights, my Marc Jacobs Airbrush in the shade Lush and Libido is just kind of my holy grail blush, so I've been using this every day on the cheeks just to kind of bring a little bit of color. And for highlight, I've gone back to an old favorite, and this is the MAC Mineralize Skinfinish in the shade Soft and Gentle. And I've just kind of reverted back to this because it's just such a nice everyday highlight, just like the perfect natural, everyday, not too crazy highlight. So I take the fluffy brush like I just showed, and then I'm going to take a little dense brush to get the inner corner as well. And then another thing I've started doing again recently is highlighting the brow bone, which I just really kind of forgot to be doing for a while. I just haven't done it. I hadn't like liked the look, but now I'm kind of back on that vibe, so just put a little bit there as well. Moving on to brows, I'm just going to use my Anastasia 12 brush just to brush up my brows, because I'm going to go in with my Anastasia Brow Wiz in the shade Taupe, which is like an old favorite of mine, but the spoolie end always breaks off on these, which is so frustrating. But I'm going to go ahead and use the Brow Wiz to just fill in my brows lightly and try not to go too crazy on them. I filled in my eyebrows, and now I'm just going to set with my Essence Make Me Brow, and this is in the shade 3 Soft Brownie Brows. This has just been my go-to brow gel. I love the little brush. It reminds me a lot of like the Benefit Gimme Brow, but this Essence product is just so affordable. And for me, I don't find an exponential difference in brow gels. I think it's just one of those areas where you can really save on products, because I do like a lot of higher end products because I feel it's worth the investment for how much better they are. But this is one where I just really enjoy this drugstore version, so those are set. And at this point, I could add a little bit of bottom mascara, and on some days I do that, but I think I'm going to go ahead and leave them blank for today and just stick with the upper lash mascara. I've just been liking this kind of like fresh-faced, easy, like more lighter makeup look, I would say. So I'm going to go straight into lip, and I'm absolutely obsessed with this duo, and I have a drugstore dupe for this. This is the MAC Subculture lip pencil, but I have the NYX lip liner in the shade Natural, which is probably my holy grail Your Lips But Better lip liner, and I think it's pretty much exactly the same as this, but I've just been enjoying, this is going to be a 2 MAC product lip combo, so I've just really been enjoying this one Subculture, so I'm going to use this today and line my lips all over. My lips are totally lined, and now I'm going to go in with this MAC lipstick, and this is one of their matte lipsticks in the shade Kinda Sexy, which I think is kind of like an old cult favorite, and this is definitely more peachy than I typically go for. But what I like about it is that it's deep enough on my skin tone anyway to kind of really just like enhance my lips and make them look deeper than they naturally are, but it isn't too crazy. It's not like a bright red or any other kind of bolder shade, but it does, I think, really just like define the lips a little bit. So overall, it's kind of just like a natural everyday makeup look, but I think everything's pretty nicely defined and we get kind of a good full coverage look. And that's it for this makeup tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and let me know if you've tried any of these products and you love them. I just really love this Jouer bronzer duo, and they also have this in 2 other shades. I believe this is the lightest one and there's 2 more. So I haven't tried the others, but this one I'm just obsessed with. So hopefully you guys enjoyed kind of seeing these products and getting a little bit more of a look at that Joe Blasco foundation, because I just am obsessed with it. So please let me know what you think down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.